Hey, welcome here to a brand new episode. I'm your host, Dr. Faith Elizabeth Nanyonga. If you're listening in today, I'd like to take this minute to thank you for each and every time that you tune in to listen to me as I teach about career development and personal development. Your support is invaluable to me, and I don't take it for granted. If it's your first time here, welcome to the Frame Solution podcast. And if you'd like to be a fan, there are 3 ways you can support this show and spread the love. Every single share, subscribe count matters, so do not think your efforts go unnoticed. The first way you could support this show is by leaving a review in Apple Podcasts. Reviews not only make the world a better place for me as the podcast gets to many ears, but also rank our podcast higher in the podcast charts. You can subscribe to this podcast so that you do not miss out any episode as they are released. And also, you could choose to be a guest on the podcast by sending in an email. The email address is theframesolutions@gmail.com. Thank you once again. Hi guys, welcome back to the Frame Solution podcast. If it's your first time listening in, welcome. If you're a returning listener, welcome back. My name is Faith. So if you listen to this podcast, chances are you're advancing your career and you want to make something out of your career and your life. That's the main essence of this podcast, to equip you with the tools, the techniques, the mindset, and also practical solutions to achieve the success you long for in your career and also in your life. So in today's episode, it's going to be something short, and this episode is going to lead up to the coming episode next week. So in this week's episode, I would want you to sit down and think about these questions. I like to have a notebook where I write most of my things that come into my mind, especially when it comes to making big decisions in my career, my life. I love to take some time and digest my thoughts. And the best way to do it basically is through journaling. Journaling is getting a book or any document and you sit down and write what's on your mind. I'm going to give you some guiding questions to help you this week. So, the essence of this episode is to equip you with the tools you need to help you take action in your career. From my own experience and the clients I work with, many of the times what stops us from taking action is the fear of the unknown. Fear of the unknown means that you're fearing what you do not know. Say you want to advance your career, you want to change a job, but you don't know how it will turn out when you change that job. So that fear usually keeps us stagnant. It keeps us in our comfort zone where we do not stretch out of our comfort zones. So in today's episode, I want to give you these few questions. Actually, there are 2 questions that I want you to think about. In the coming episodes, I would want to know your input. You can send me an email. My email address is theframesolutions@gmail.com, and let me know how you found these questions, and if you have any issues that you're facing, just write to me and I'll be sure to help you. But the first question I want you to think about is, what is stopping me from getting ahead? Write down all the reasons, all the excuses, or anything that's stopping you from getting ahead in your life and in your career. That's question number 1. Question number 2 is going to be, if I didn't have this fear, it might be fear, it might be those other reasons that I don't know that are stopping you from making the big leap in your career, where would I be? So the question is, if I didn't have this, you can include fear or any excuse or any problem or any issues that you think are stopping you from getting ahead, where would I be? I said 2 questions, but I'm going to add the third one. The third one is going to be, how can I overcome this fear or that thing that is stopping you from making the leap that you need to make in your career? In the coming episodes, I'll take you through how I overcome these issues that I usually have. Myself, I usually also have these issues in my life and also in my career, but I've been able to overcome them and make big leaps and even apply for jobs that I'm not even qualified to apply for. Even seek out opportunities that I know from my primitive mind, that mind that stops you from making action, that I would not get. So all the things that we usually experience in life start from our mind. Our thoughts become our beliefs, and our beliefs become our actions. So if you believe you're not going to make it, you do things that sabotage you from making it. Ideally, that's how that cycle works. So in the coming episode, I'm going to take you through how to overcome these roadblocks that are stopping you from making those big leaps in your career. Thank you so much for tuning in today. And if you want to work with me one-to-one basis, you can book yourself a 30 minutes free call. The link will be in the description of this episode. And if you have any topics that you want me to discuss, you can shoot me an email. The email address is theframedsolutions@gmail.com. Also, if you enjoy this podcast, please rate and review wherever you listen to this podcast. And I'll catch you in the next episode. Bye-bye. I hope you've learned something from this episode. And if you have, please rate and review wherever you listen to your podcast. Subscribe to this podcast. Share it with your family, friends, and those that you think are interested in career development. Also, follow me on the socials, which is Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Pinterest. The username is The Frame Solutions. I can't wait to speak to you in the next episode. Stay blessed. Bye-bye.